Can I ask another stupid question? Please do. I'm better at answering questions than I am at gaming, so I would like you to give me things to talk about. Okay. So Station Earth says, what DLC do I buy? I don't know what I have to get for the story or the current content or anything. Okay. So Guild Wars 2 is a game with horizontal progression. You very quickly get to maximum level, and then they just keep adding more things to do at maximum level, right? There's just more and more and more stuff to do there. You're asking which DLC should you pick up, if any. All right, so first of all, I don't think there's any bad DLC. Some of them have a better story, some have better features, some add better classes, but I don't think any of them are just bad. So here on the list is all of the game's content. Where it says My Story, that's the base game. Living World Season 1 is free for everyone. Living World Season 2 and onward costs either, cash, real life cash if it's an expansion. So Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, End of Dragons, Secrets of the Obscure, Janthier Wilds. Those are expansions. These Living World Seasons can be bought with real-life money or in-game gems. So if you're tight on funds, you can just, spend in-game gold to buy gems and get those at a future time. You probably will not be able to afford that with early game coins, but that is an option. Now, if you want the whole story, I recommend just get everything as you can and play it in order. As far as which expansions do I need to get? First off, you do not have to worry about catching up. It's not like World of Warcraft where you need to be with you have to be with the main player base because the old content gets dead. Like, do you see where I'm at right now? This meta I just did with like 100 other people. This is from Heart of Thorns, the first expansion that came out like 10 years ago. People still do it because it's good, right? So you do not have to worry about, oh, I have to keep up with the players in the newest content because the old zones will be dead. No, that's a World of Warcraft thing. That doesn't happen here. So you don't have to sweat that. So you can just pick up these things, go through them at your own pace, and work your way toward the newest stuff. Now, at the end of next month, Visions of Eternity will come out, which will go right here after Janthier Wilds. Now, another thing that's worth noting is from the base game up until End of Dragons is the Dragon Saga story. Easy to remember that End of Dragons was when that ended. So you could kind of think of it as like, this is like a series of books, and that's the last one, and then this is the start of a new story. So if you were to just jump into Secrets of the Obscure, they might reference that the dragons were beaten, but you won't really know how. But if you jump ahead anywhere in here, and you haven't done the stuff before it, you're gonna be confused. Which, I don't know what part you value, but if you really care about story, I would just do it in order, because it's a solid story. Like many books, there are weak points and there are high points, but overall I think it's really good, and it will give you hundreds of hours of entertainment. I would just say get all of it in order as you're able to afford it. There are occasionally sales, and the sales are quite good. So if you are like, okay, I just started leveling, I'm level 20, like you're still doing the base campaign, there is no rush for you to go buy the expansions right now. You could wait until the next sale hits and then scoop up a whole bunch of them, and some of them will be like half price. So you could just keep an ear out for when the sales hit and then pick those up later, and you don't have to worry about that right now. But like if you are almost done with the base story and you're like, I want more, then okay, yeah, go ahead and pick up just like the next thing in the list, but don't worry about getting all of it at once unless there's like a sale going, is my advice. Station says, I will go through the order then. I was afraid I'd buy a DLC with 0 players because it's not meta or something, I totally understand, because again, using WoW as a reference, because I came from WoW before this, so I know it the best. World of Warcraft was like that. The first expansion in World of Warcraft was called the Burning Crusade. Awesome expansion, but later when it was like time for Mists of Pandaria, the Burning Crusade area was dead. There was no one there except a few people alone leveling through it, and then that was it. So it was like very hard to get groups there and stuff like that. So I totally get it. I've been there, but that's really not a thing here. Just with the world being what it is, like there's so many good metas, and the metas are, they do not have level requirements. It's like an example, Queensdale. This is the human newbie zone. There's a world boss that spawns here every 2 hours. So what happens is you'll have level 80 players coming back to Queensdale and level 8 players that are there for the first time fighting side by side versus this boss every 2 hours. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, it's a really, really good system, and it keeps the old zones alive. And yeah. So hope that answers the question, but you do not have to worry about like just skipping straight to the newest expansion because you think all the old ones are dead. It's just simply not like that. You might have some odd moments where you end up being like one of a few people in a zone like at a weird time, but mostly it's just not that. I hope that helps.